I have enough. Done. Land here. Outfitter. Yeah, drop air repellent. I'm not gonna buy it, but this one gets you mugged and they steal some of your money. Not that I really want drop air repellent, but Denny Calic. Let's do this a little faster. I'll land here. Just to refuel. And this may not even be right. I'm not. No, it's not right. This jump may not even be right. Houseless, that's pirates. Land on Boro because or refuel. Well, that's lovely. Destroy some houses. That would be it's just a way station. Leave. This looks like it might have something like a... It doesn't. Yeah, see, the problem being here, I have 10 jumps there, which realistically is probably about 12, because I recharge very fast. Out. They're all houseless, and they all hate me. But they're all small. Well, the abomination is not nothing, but I'm not going to have any extra fuel coming through here. Coming through here, and they're going to be pissed with me. land under heavy fire, and the workers on the ground grimly tell you that they're capable of holding out against the pirates, as the pirates aren't prepared to bombard them from orbit because they do not want to destroy the mining infrastructure that is being set up. But we are more than a match for them on the ground, the operation commander informs you grimly. The trouble is that they just sit in space, and every ship that takes off gets beaten to hell. So far, every ship that has managed to land has been disabled and boarded as soon as they leave the atmosphere. Good luck out there. With a sigh, you head back to the beloved flowing water. So, let's plan this. I think there's a faster way up through here. But I don't know if I really wanna. I think we can let it float for a while. Recharge my things while they're not shooting at me. Sounds like a plan. And there's no one scanning me. That's the other thing. It's probably going to be the name of the game for most of this. It's going to be get out system as far as you can. And make it back to space as fast as I can. I thought so. 2, 3. Done. I have 7 jumps. 7 jumps should get me to Port King. Landing on Port Kane is more important than finishing the run right now. That was a pretty nice learn. I don't know if he's here, but I don't feel like being scanned by anyone anyway. So I did it. And let's land on Seoul. So you usually land with you sigh with relief. The last few weeks have been pretty stressful, and you are glad that you've made it back in one piece with your cargo intact. Well done, congratulates Rodri when he drops by as you are unloading. This load should keep us going for another couple of months. You tell him the news from the small mining operation down there, and how they can hold out. Well, that's good news, he mutters thoughtfully. The only problem is we have is shipping through the blockade. I think we can do something with that. In the meantime, he concludes quietly, keep an eye out around here. I may have another mission for you in a month or two. Why don't you recuperate for a little while? If you check your account, you think you'll find that you have a little bit more spending money now. 296 goes to 546, so it gave me 250,000 credits, which is part of the reason I did that. So, but I now can do. No, I can't do because they're ridiculously expensive. Extra 5 tons, which I don't have any. So what would I put on with 5 tons? An extra battery pack maybe to get to 11 jumps. I really don't have the space. Some more carbon fiber probably actually. Less likely to blow my ass off. Yeah, no. Not with the money I have right now. Let's go see if Miranda's ready. You see a hand waving out of the corner of your eye when you walk into this establishment. You turn to see the pretty Miranda sitting at a table by herself, waving you over. Not for the first time you find yourself wondering about her unique name. You have never heard a name quite like it, although it is strangely lyrical in an exotic way. Well, it seems that you have completed all that I have completed all of my business here faster than expected, she informs you with a grin. So I have a little time to myself before I have to perform my next mission. I have always wanted to view some of the Velos human sculptures that remain on Goliath in the South Manchester system. Would you be interested in ferrying me there? Yes. Oh, thank you, she exclaims happily. I've always dreamed of seeing something left behind by the Velos of old. The mystery and wonder of their ancient civilization has always fascinated me when I was young, and I suppose some of it still remains in me, even though I am no longer innocent, and even less worthy. You are a little surprised at the last reference, but you shrug it off as something to do with her work. The pay shall be the same as last time, she informs you more seriously, and I will be needing transport from Goliath to a further direction not long after we land. So if you wait around for a few days, I will have another mission for you. Great. And we just head up to Goliath, because I do know where it is. Done. I wish I could find a pirate system around Earth to beat on some pirates so that they'd let me do that again. Tau City. I could go to Arkanar. Hope. Let's go. Oh, we land on Goliath. As soon as you let her off the ship, Miranda immediately heads off in search of ancient Velos artifacts. Out of curiosity, you decide to tag along. She takes a tour out to an ancient site where the Velos used to showcase their athletic, artistic, and telepathic skills to the humans of the Colonial Council in a weekly carnival. When you arrive, you're surprised and a little more than impressed by the enormous stone blocks that are so intricately carved and fitted that they have survived the hostile elements of Goliath for so long intact. This is the debt we must repay above all others, murmurs Miranda to herself quietly. This atrocity cannot be allowed to go on. You are taken aback to hear such somber words from the normally cheerful young woman. Obviously, there are depths to her persona you are only now becoming aware of. Wait for me in the bar, she tells you quietly, without moving her to face you at all. Her eyes are on the Vela sculpture. I need to wander for a while. So, bar. As you wait in the bar sipping your drink, you see a somewhat rejuvenated Miranda walk in the door. She quickly spots you and makes her way over, sporting a happy smile. I have to thank you for bringing me here. She begins sincerely. This is a lifelong dream come true. Thank you so much. But now I must return to business, she continues more seriously. I need to get to Port Kane in the Canyon system to make contact with a colleague of mine. I'm prepared to offer you another 20,000 credits for your troubles, and in all likelihood there will be another mission waiting for you within a few hours of your arrival. Are you willing to help me out again? She asks hopefully. My colleague name is Miss Andrea, and she should be waiting for us on Port Kane when we arrive. Miranda continues cheerfully. She will be directing our travels from there. That is, of course, if you are prepared to help us further. You're starting to get more than a little curious about Miranda's background. Her name is clearly not Federation in origin, and the name Miss Andrea is even more foreign. Well, Miranda informs you with a happy smile, I'm ready to go when you are. So, let's head down to Port Kane. I can do that because I have the ship to be able to do so. And leave. And let's make this go a little faster here. The hell is this? That was what that Velos was about. No, 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 no. Land. Land. When you land, you see an elderly-looking brown-cloaked lady with gray hair hurry up your ramp and onto the ship. Two gray-cloaked men who were flanking her stand at the bottom of the ramp as if guarding it. Miss Andrea, exclaims Miranda almost reverently, which causes you to look at her suspiciously. What has happened? I'm being followed by Federation troops, the lady informs you both. I have no wish to be detained by them. At the moment, you see a number of that moment, you see a number of Federation soldiers begin entering the spaceport, running towards your ship, and the two men in gray snap it into action. Within seconds, they decimate the Federation forces in the most awesomely skilled and stunning display of martial arts that you've ever seen. When they finish with the soldiers, they run back up the ramp and enter your ship. Young man, I suggest we get out of here before more of them turn up, suggested Andrea. Make for Nilhelm Molnir in the Molnir system. Molnir. And that is, I know it's here somewhere. Oh, don't give me a tag. It's up here somewhere. Oh, okay. Closer than I thought it was. And outfitter, anything outfitters fittings I want before I go. I'm not stupid. I knew they were gonna pop in. And let's land, please. There we go. You realize that your passengers are all members of the mysterious Polaris civilization, and although you want to ask many questions of them, the casual stares of the two men in gray keep your curiosity in check. As soon as you land, Miss Andrea is greeted by a man garbed in an all-green outfit who lays his hands on the head of the elderly woman. After a few short moments, he nods his head and allows Vicendra to step off your ramp. By now you know that we are of the Polaris, says the elderly woman over her shoulder at you. But you may not know the enormity of your actions over the last few days. To help you understand, know that my full name is only Andrea. This is the title given to the leader of the Polaris ruling council. After a few moments, the enormity of her words began to sink in. You have just saved the leader of the Polaris from being detained by the Federation. You begin to ask several questions, like why was the Federation given Miss Andrea's position, trying to detain her? I will not answer all your questions at this time, she informs you quietly, as if reading your thoughts, but I can convey our gratitude. You shift uncomfortably under her piercing gaze. You were offered 20,000 credits for your services, Brissendria continues, but I will make sure that you receive 5 times that amount in thanks for your deeds. I will also allow you access to the docking computers where my people lodge their travel requirements. You will be the first non-Polaran ever to be allowed to ferry my people from place to place. With that, Vicendria, the green cloaked man, and the 2 men in gray turn and walk away, seemingly in unison. I can't thank you enough for what you have done, Miranda tells you, as she too exits your ship. You have done us a great service. If you wish to continue helping us, I will be making myself useful on the planet of Moraharo, and if you drop by, I will make sure that you get some more work. So, Moraharo, which was the one we visited in the Velo storyline. But I think I have to leave and come back for the missions to be available. But we are buying maps because mapping this is kind of annoying. So I've just pissed off all of Seoul, and the Moash. But most of the Aurorans still don't care. And Korea likes me. Who could I? That would be hilarious. I'm curious. Some things that I know I can buy here. Port polish will make things go a horizontal booster. Or things. The port and polish makes me turn and accelerate a bit faster, and the horizontal booster lets me jump less distance from the center of the system, which is very nice if I'm trying to escape somewhere. And do they have... They don't have the forge stuff. Oh well. I was not that interested in it anyway. Yeah, okay, so go back to the Polaris. 4, 5, 8. Leave. And yeah, maybe because this is a military. military station, so... Whoa, cap box. That really important polish makes it a little bit more difficult to fly to that double speed too. Mission BBS. And then all of these are going to be apostrophed, so and these are all the travelers, but it's a good way to get more Haros, which get locations of things. And okay, don't let me land on the military bases. Stations. And land on Morale. Okay. At the corner, you catch a waving motion. You should see the auburn hair and cheerful smile of Miranda. "How are you, Captain George Black?" she asked happily. "What do you think of the Polaris now that you've had a chance to look around?" You mutter a few vague comments about being very impressed about it all. "Come now," she exclaims, pretending to be cross. "Surely you can do better than that." You smile sheepishly and laugh kindly. "Now that you're here," she continues more seriously, "the Padet, the Polaris name for the scientist case, uh, could use your help of an independent ship captain, perform some experiments, and retrieve some data from the various scientific endeavors. We've got a message a few days ago when they heard that one of us, Mahari, had been in contact with you to ask you if you'd be willing to help out. Are you?" "Yep. Our scientists will be pleased," commented Miranda with a smile. "Go to Par in the ad system in the Padet Par added in the Padet system, and they will explain their needs further. I believe that they want to help them uh, out with their studies of the Wraith." You give Miranda a puzzled look at the mention of the word Wraith. "They are some sort of space-based life form," she informs you. "For some reason they attack all Polaris ships on sight, and they are very dangerous. Just be careful," she tells you with a smile. "If you keep your wits about you, everything should work out. Just remember that a large number of Polarans are watching you carefully because they are not sure whether or not to trust you. Not all of them have worked with you before like the Bissandrea and I have done. So they are a little suspicious. Something like this would go a long way towards gaining you acceptance among us. Regardless," she finishes with a grin, "I wish you the best of luck out there." I'm not going there directly. I'm doing this first. And... Varhay, good. Oh, Varhay is over there. Station. Okay. And leave. Outfitter. Done. Let's go to Nil Festra. I don't think it has... Oh, it does have air tuning. It's a military base. It should be a little bit better equipped. And I should be able to land here. Go to the outfitter and buy a map. Because that really does open quite a bit. That is where I'm going. And let's go. I just need a map mostly just to be able to see where I'm going. And land, please. And outfitter and map. It's about the only thing I can buy. So, too many things. See, and all that's trading. If I remember correctly, it's road. I can do it faster this way. And you are met by a young, youthful-looking man dressed all in blue, which you notice seems to be the norm for most of the people on this planet. Allow me to introduce myself, he begins formally. I am Pagena. I will be your contact with the Padet until you have learned our language. You nod, realizing that it makes more sense for you to learn the Polaris language than it does for all the Polaris to learn yours. Take some time to freshen up, he tells you politely, and meet me in the bar in 2 hours, and I shall give you the outline of your first mission with us. He bows before turning away and leaving you standing alone. You shake your head and go to see about getting your ship serviced. And buy the map, because that gives me the surrounding stuff. Okay. Yeah, I don't have any of that. I'm just following these. As you sit sipping your drink, you see the slim, somehow bookish figure and brown hair of Pagena enter the bar. You have to wave and attract his attention before he makes his way over to you. You are all freshened up, he asks in his polite manner, and you nod. Good. Well then, to explain your mission, many Padet will have become curious of reports from the Nickel Moria over the last few years that the Wraith, a hostile race occupying the space to the northwest of our own, have begun to wink in and out of physical existence, leaving only a strange energy signature that can still be followed on radar. We need someone to carry some scientific instruments deep into the Wraith-held space and try to observe this phenomena more closely. That's where you come in. He nods in your direction. Are you prepared to help us out? Yep. Excellent, he exclaims with a smile. Smile in his first break of decorum. He continues more seriously. At the furthest limits of our exploration to the northwest into Wraith space, we have located a grass giant, which we believe that uses some sort of home base, although we have no idea why. It is one of the busiest systems in the region, and we will allow us to garner highly accurate data by allowing us to observe numerous Wraith. You'll have to give the equipment we will load on board your ship a few minutes to take all the necessary readings, Pagena informs you seriously, after which you can return here and we will ensure that you are financially recompensed for your troubles. Also, he tells you formally, you've come to an arrangement with the Nickel Moria so you can purchase some of our ships, which have much longer range than your Federation technology vessel, which will be more than a little handy on this mission. I suggest you get one. Finally, he warns quietly, the Wraith have a history of attacking ships without provocation, so keep your wits about you. Neat. So let's go see about picking up one of those ships, because I don't think it actually has longer jump capabilities than this one. Shipyard. I don't have enough for that. The striker, I don't have enough for that either. But number of jumps, 10. Number of jumps, 10. I have a 10 right now. Number of 4 jumps, energy. See, and that's not, it's a fighter. Yeah. Yeah, Wraith Cannon. I don't need those. Okay, so oh, I didn't. Let's dump that one. Let's go and refuel so we can. This has a fairly long. I planned this out a little, you would think. Okay, so I think there's a few more stations and stuff out that direction that I could refuel at. Like that. Land. Shipyard, again, Dragon is 600. Done. Outfitter. Buy. Yeah, see, this is where it starts to get a little weird. Okay, so let's jump there. Let's land and see about a okay, this isn't as so it pretty much finishes when we do. As soon as you get into the system, so 6, 7, 8. Not really big deal. Okay, you land, put it added. Upon landing, you are greeted by several blue-robed Polaris scientists who begin poring over the sample you took. Well done, Pagena congratulates you. Very few have ventured into race space and survived. They are possibly the most aggressive life form you have ever heard of. You raise your eyebrows and tell them you have absolutely no trouble with them at all, and that they basically left you alone. What? He explains, drawing his stares from several of his colleagues. Are you sure? You tell him to check your sensor logs if he has any doubts, which he does, looking very surprised. This is most unusual, he tells you, looking slightly shocked. We will have to explore this phenomenon further. Meet me in the bar in a few hours, and I will have something more for you. You are sipping your second drink when you see the frame of Bajena enter the bar. Your sensor logs have caused quite a stir, he informs you, after making his way over and setting down. Always before, the Wraith attacked every ship that they saw, and the only difference that we can see as being definitive is that you are not a Polaris pilot. Anyway, he sighs, returning to relative normalcy after his slightly excited outburst. We have already discovered a way of reproducing the cloaking effect of the Wraith, and we believe that it would be of enormous use for both the Nickelmora and the Morhari. I have all the data necessary to reproduce the effect, Pagena tells you in his quiet way, but I still require transportation to pass this information on to those who can turn a laboratory experiment into a practical application. Can you help me? Yes, I can. Thank you, he accepts gratefully. This may well prove to be one of the biggest advances in technology in decades, in terms of how it can affect the political landscape of all known space. If this information falls into the wrong hands somehow, these people have the scientific know-how to understand the information I now have, could mean serious changes to the balance of power throughout the galaxy. Still, he shrugs, it cannot hurt if we develop the technology, use it to defend our borders against incursions by outside influences. And to do that, I need to get to Versailles in the Verquois system. All the brightest scientists and engineers dream of being asked to serve there. Nearly all of the greatest advances in ship design and technology over the last few centuries have come out of there. Hopefully, he concludes in his bookish manner, this will prove to be another successful experiment. Okay. Let's head back to Versailles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, well within my range. Leave. Saves over there. Upon landing, you're greeted by a small crowd of people, most of whom are wearing green flowing robes that you've learned belong to the engineer healer caste, called the Varash. But there are sprinkling of blue robes belonging to the science, like Pagena, and even one utilitarian black jumpsuit that belongs to the member of the Muhari. So how does it work? Asked one of the Varash in an excited tone. The Wraith have learned how to fold space around them so they are physically impervious to harm, replies Vagina quietly. So it's as though they cloak themselves in space-time, asks one of the scientists. Pagena nods before turning to you. We have a fair amount of work ahead of us to take this knowledge out of the laboratory and into the real world, he tells you quietly. But if you keep checking back here, we will probably have need of your services before too long. With that, he disappears into the station, talking rapidly to his colleagues. Okay. I am going to... There is a shipyard here. What I want is to land there. I want a Sprite. Cambrian I can't afford, but a Sprite I can. The thing about these is they're 500 tons versus the Tortoise. The Terrapin, which is 125. So I think I am going to buy that ship. And we are going to call it what? I don't know. It is a Sprite. It's Faye. Because I can't remember how to spell fairy. Starbound Faye. Okay. And it changes my layout, which is nice. It's prettier. Like the Velos one did, this is a Polaris GUI. Leave, which means probably this one. It is slow. Land. Outfitter. Buy. 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 Cargo retool. I have 15 ton, no tons left. I don't actually have anything that would put a Wrathy launcher on here, but I don't feel like it. Because the thing is, Mission BBS still on the other ferry, but where is it? Trichlysia, I think, is the one that because there's a Opals run here too. It has 8 jumps. Good. And we're gonna capitalize this because this is slow as hell. We're gonna do some cargo runs to earn some money, because I'm gonna need a fair amount of money from here this entire run. As earlier, some of the ships are into the okay. I think it's one of these. Do I remember exactly which one of these it is? No. But try landing on here. It doesn't show. I think it's one of these. And even in double speed, I think this is the fastest this goes. I don't have any solar panels or any way of regenerating the fuel I've left, so I've got to be careful here. Trade center. Not in here. I don't remember entirely where it is. Here it is. 381, 300 gives me 78. No. Sell 100. A half of my load done. I need to remember where the hell it needs to go. Crosser. I think it's there. But we go flying around the... Might be somewhere in the center. I don't remember. There is somewhere along here that rise opens high. Is it here? It is not here. Oh dear. It's somewhere. And it doesn't say it on the let's just go see. I don't think it's Mohari. But we will try. Check. I do not remember where it is. Nice litters of pelts. She guards a medium. I don't think it's that. But let's go and find it. It's around somewhere. I know there is around here somewhere. Once we find the help. I didn't actually think it was that. I think if I'm remembering correctly, because the thing is I'm running off memory for this. I don't remember where it is. Fitter, buy me a map, please. It's not Sender or Fallen. I need fuel, so... I don't actually need a map from here. What I do need is, I could have sworn it was one of these. Maybe it was the big planet. And let's see about landing here. Chlorate gas. And what about the station? Check the station. There it is. $497. So let's it's not too actually long a run. Oh, and what have they got here? Shove me into the middle of the system. That's good. Dove feed is really, really necessary for these. Unless you go the whole way to Canada. Get a port and polish, which you can. Fine. And yep. We're just about done here, guys. Okay. Okay, guys. I'm gonna end the stream here because we're just about time, and I ran a little long last time, so a little short this time won't hurt. I may do a little bit of this trading off screen because there's not a whole lot involved with it, and it's very, very safe here. But before I get to the point where I can buy a new ship, I will stop and we will go from there. Because there's a fair amount of stuff to do. I'm going to need a lot of money for what I'm going to be doing. So I think I'm probably going to go as far as a scarab to get a couple million at least in spare, in addition to what I have invested in the scarab. So we'll do that. I think actually I might do most of that off time, and we'll continue with the story later, maybe, or maybe not. I'll decide. We'll tell you what's going on in between when I get back. So have yourselves a good night. And not that there's anyone listening to this, but hey.